Good morning, Philippa. Morning, Elaine. I'm just trying to sort it on my computer. It doesn't want to work today. Must be very cold. There we go. Soon get there. I hope it's all nice and sunny where you are. It's not grand here, that's for sure. It's freezing. Feels like a November day. Kind of wet, dark and damp. It's not good. Hi, Francis. There we go. It's finally decided to work. Happy days. Let's get comments up. There we are. Hi, Gail. Hi, Andreen. Let's move this out of the way now so I can see the comments. There we go. Ooh, cold hands. Let's put the fire on a bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Hi, Christine. Oh. Right, let's start. So, it looks a lot more complicated than it is, ladies. Really, it's very easy. Let me move up the way. Right, there we are. Hi, Julie. Hi, Francis again. I think I've said it once, but there you are. Right, I can only apologise about my voice. I was out on Saturday night and I think I channeled me inner Beyonce a bit too much and it turned me into Bonnie Tyler. So, unmatched from Neighbours, one or the other. So I'm a bit croaky. Hey, Eileen. Right, so this is what we're going to make. It's called an Aztec pyramid card. Okay, it's not my design. I found it on Pinterest. But I think it really looks cute with Julie's stuff. Now, these papers I used on this one are Hazel's. It was what I had left from the ones that Hazel designed. And I think it looks kind of cute. But I am going to do some stamping on this one I'm going to make today. It's actually almost the same as the one that I did, that I put on the other day. But a lady asked me to make one for her. And could I do it with like pink flowers, pink centres instead of red, so she can give it to her daughter. So that's what I'm going to do today. So here we go. Don't need a lot of stuff for it really, just Julie's Dicky Circles, which is the one with the scalloped edge. We need the new dies and medley leaf stamps to match. And this one I'm going to use this leaf. So all of those leaves, you could just change the leaf and it'll look different. And I'm also going to use the Perfectly Pretty new range, Perfectly Pretty blooms. I have already got them cut out, and I also use the corresponding dies. Look at the state of them, they need a wash. And out of this set, I'm using this one here, these daisies, because I absolutely love them, and this little flower here, which don't really be able to seem to find at the moment. Oh, here it is. There we are. I got it out ready. There we are. I'll stick it on my block and then I know where it is. I'm also using Hazel's medley dies, sentiment dies. Yeah. Oh, and this one from the leaf set here as well, which is that big one. But I'm not stamping it. As you can see, I've just cut it out. Hi, Brian. Hi, Jax. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining me. So this one I've cut out in black. Okay, so that's what you need. Again, like I said, you can just change one of the flowers and it'll look different. Change the colours. Away we go. So first thing we need is a card blank, and I'm choosing it in black because the lady decided. It's an 8x8, and to make these, you do need a square. Hi, Ines. You need a square to start with, so it's a complete card blank. And you need your scoreboard. So I shall bring in my scoreboard. Oops, sorry for the noise, guys. And a pencil. All right, let's start. So with the fold at the top, mark at 4 inches. Mark at your card blank at the fold at 4 inches. Okay. Then turn it round and mark at 4 inches. Keep pricking the nib on my pencil. because my hands are cold. Pressing too hard. And then turn it round again. So 4 inches. So what you've done is the fold, that side and that side, you've marked at 4 inches. Okay. So if you open out your card blank, you can mark your 4 inches on the other side of it as well. Okay. And then you just need to do the sides. 4 inches. Man. So you've basically done the 2 sides now exactly the same. Okay, so I'll just tell you 4 inches at the fold, 4 inches either side, flip it over and do 4 inches at the fold and 4 inches either side. And that's it really. So now all you need to do is open up the card blank. Now I've got a black line down the centre here. I've marked it with a Sharpie. It just helps when you're doing stuff like this really. So you can see where you're going and what you're doing. So if you put your ball tool on the 4 inch mark off the fold, lift it up and line it up with that black line. Okay, so I'm on the black line now. And then all you've got to do is twist your card till this one matches up with the black line. Okay, and then you just score slowly to there. Don't worry if you're not exact on, it doesn't really matter. Keep it on the middle, but don't press too hard because you don't want to dent the middle. And then move it up. And from there, you go to this outside corner. Okay. Hold it down. Do it gentle. Right to the outside corner. You might need to go a couple of times. This is 300 GSM card, so it does need a little bit of manipulation. Okay, I've kept my ball tool in the top and I'm going to the next outside corner. There we go. Place your ball tool back in, twist it round until you get to this 4 inch mark, and you do this now again on the other side too. So keep your ball tool in, take it to the 4 inches. Then to the edge. Make sure you're on that line now. I think I've moved a little bit. There we go. But don't worry too much if you do. It's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. Okay. Then keep it in. Turn it around to the next corner. If you do it slowly, you'll be able to get it, no problem. Again, in there. Turn it to the 4 inch, and then that is basically all the score lines you need. Okay, there we are, you can see them now. I'll move this out of the way, bring in my score tool. So I always start with the 2 longest ones and you bend them towards you. It's fairly simple. You're just burnishing all these folds. You can do it both ways if you want. You know, just to make sure that your card moves the way you want it to. But it's quite a forgiving card. So if you don't line it up right to the edge, it doesn't matter. You can trim it. So go up to the point and then do all of them the same. Because they will bend backwards once you've scored them. All up to the point. So I'm making mountain folds out of everything. And you can manipulate the valley folds once you've put these creases in. Yeah, just fold it backwards towards the centre point on each of them. Okay. Again with this one, once you've started doing it, it gets a little bit easier. Alright. You can see where you're going, you just fold them over. But it's nice to keep that top point on the fold crisp. Otherwise you get like, it's not so pointy when you've finished your card. But I'm sure whoever receives the card will not mind one iota that it's a little bit unpointy at the top. There we go. And there we have it. There. Like that. Okay. So you've got all your scores in now. And it's ready for decorating. Now, there's a few ways you can sit, if you wish, and measure all of this to get your angles. But I found the easiest way to do it for your mat and layers is to draw it out on a piece of, because this card is 8 by 8 to start with, obviously. So if you draw it out on a piece of 8 by 8 card, which is exactly the same size as this, okay, this is what you're looking at from the centre point to the sides at 4 inches and then to there. And then the easiest way I found to do it then, hold on, somebody sent me a message and moved me comments so I can't see them. There we go. Okay, so if you bring in this, and my mat and layers are going to be white and then they're going to be stamped on. So if you was to do it with papers, just bring in an 8 by 8 inch piece of paper and do exactly the same. So when you cut this, okay, if you cut it a little smaller, sort of on the inside of the line, you will get, can you see what I've done there? I've left the inside of the line. So you do the exact same thing with all of them and you get basically the shape that you need. You might need to do a little bit of trimming, but not much for your mat and layers. Okay, so we don't need that piece. So now we go down this one. And you can do as many layers as you want. There was a lady who saw this when I put it on the other day and she had to go with doing it herself. Dawn Johnson it was, and she put 2 layers on her card and it looks brilliant. So, you know, it's up to you how many layers you want. So again, on the other side of the line, on these to make it slightly smaller, and you will get that the angle you need. You only need this piece really, you don't need these big chunks that I'm taking off from the middle, and you'll understand why in a minute. Okay, so you basically need them, and they're your layers then, they're your layers for to put on your card, because this is all you can see, yeah, when you decorate it. If you want to decorate the back, then obviously you've got to do that twice. Okay, so I'll bring them in, and what we're going to achieve is this, but I'm going to stamp this one. Okay, I'm using that little small flower like I showed you before, and I'm going to stamp randomly, well, as random as I can, all over it. Hoping, I've got 2 VersaFines out because one's slightly better than the other one ink-wise. So I'm just going to start at the top and work my way down, hopefully without getting it all over me like I usually do. There we are. So 1. I'm not very good at doing random, but we'll give it a go. Some of this is going to be covered anyway from putting the mats on, you know, with the happy birthday and the flowers and all. So I'm just going to make sure I don't get it everywhere because I'm a bit scruffy this morning, clearly. There we go. So this one couldn't be easier because I'm not actually colouring all the flowers in, I'm only colouring the centres. So it doesn't take that long actually to make. And it does look a little more complicated than it is, I'm sure you'll agree. Hi Yvonne, hi Vanessa, hi Jenny, hi Marianne. I'm not doing too bad with this random this morning, am I? I do like this little thing for doing your little flowers, you know. I mean, you can do it on your stamp platform, it'll take it a bit longer though because you're kind of repositioning the stamp every time, but if a thing's worth doing, there we go. I love this little flower, it's so cute. And like I said, there's so many different ones in that pack of pretty blooms that, you know, you could keep going and make loads of different ones by just changing the stamp. All the papers, if you've been making background papers with Julie's stamps, that would be great as well. There we go, I'm just going to pop a couple more on, and now I have made a mess on the edge of that, so that'll do. Right, that'll do me grand. Happy with that. So I'm going to get a piece of this. Hi Linda, And I'm just going to dab it because honestly I don't want to, I want it to dry so I can continue. And any excess, I've got the fire on, any excess ink will come off onto the tissue. Well, it's drying pretty quick. So next thing to do is bring in the colour that you want to do the centres with, and like I said, the lady asked me for a bright pink. So on we go. I'm just using a fine liner, but it's more like a felt tip. It's a thicker nib on this one instead of the little tiny fine liners that you can get. Or you could do it with your pens, your pro markers, your watercolours, any of those things, pencils, anything. Right, there we are. So that's that one. So now I'm going to bring in the card and I'm going to see if they match up. And if they need to have some trimmed off, then I shall do so. Yeah, I think they're okay actually, they're good. So I'm going to put these on first. My trusty studio light blue. I'll leave it here so you can see it against the white then, isn't it? I've left a little tiny border and I've also got an inky mark on there, which is great. Let's see. It might not be able to be seen. Don't worry if not. I'm sure that I'll put another piece on top. The lady won't mind. I'll make another one. Either or. Didn't take very long, does it? And this one's to go on here with the same little border around the outside. There we go. And this one will go on here. Now, this one may well have to be trimmed. If I lean it against the white, yeah, I need to trim a little tiny bit off the bottom so that it's got an edge all the way around it. So just line it up. I'm going to do it by eye. That's a safety net. There we go. Now check it. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then I'm going to pop that one on. Is there any questions so far? No? I struggle with random as well. If my brain won't let me do it, so I just have to kind of. But it's a little bit easier when you're doing a live because you're not thinking about it. You're just doing it, you know. So it does help. I think once you start thinking about what you're doing, then I'm just going to lean this on there and press it down because I don't want to get any more ink anyway. Yeah, once you start chatting, perhaps. When you're doing the random in future, start singing to yourself and then you won't think about it. Okay, so now we've decorated the front. Now, I don't know whether anybody else does this, but I quite like to glue these triangles together. So I'm going to put some glue here because I find it easier to push that in once it's been glued. So as you can see, and you don't have to do this, but I quite like doing that. So pop it down and glue just them triangles at the top together. It's easier to manipulate your card that way. Okay, and now all you've got to do is stand it up and push it in. It takes a little bit of moving, or lie it down, either or. These ones here are coming up and those ones are going back so that they will tuck in like this, yeah? You see? So like I said, it takes a little bit of manoeuvring. So manoeuvre that first one. And then you can manoeuvre that one over there as well. And it will go. Once it realises that's where you want it to go, it'll go. See? There we are. She says, making it look as awkward as possible. There we go. Once it realises that's where it needs to be, it will sit right. So you can get now your bone folder and go along all the edges. There we are. Now we don't glue anything else there at all. It does not get glued. You just want to make sure it's all lined up. Take that extra glue off there and press it down. Do the tops as well, so it all lies flat. Now, that probably would stand up on its own, but just to make sure it doesn't do that thing where they fall over on the mantelpiece, we bring in a piece of black card and the scoreboard again. And this card will help it stand from underneath. So we've got 3 inches by 6 3/4 inches, okay? And all I'm doing is scoring it at 1/2 inch there, then 1.5 inches, and then 2.5 inches. So you give yourself 2 1/2-inch tabs either side to attach to the card on the inside so it will stand up. So I've got them on already. I've got the little bits of sticky tape on. You can use glue if you want. Pull the back off of it and attach it just on the inside there against the edge. Right, if I lean it on the white one, you can see I'm lining it up against the edge with the tab, which is now getting glued onto the inside there. Okay, you can see that it's on. And then flip it over, take this off and do the same thing, and that will give you a nice little stand inside your cards to make them not fall open on the mantelpiece. Okay, so tuck that in, line it up there, make sure you're on the edge, don't want to see it from the front, it's just got to be in there. There we go, press it down, and then you've got your nice little stand, and that will definitely not fall apart. I've moved that, putting that on, but hey ho. There we go. So there we are, that's your basic shape of an Aztec card. Now, like I said, I've cut one of Julie's dinky circles with the scalloped edge, and I've put some cardboard on the back of it ready for it to stand proud. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on and I'm going to put it in the middle, lay it down, and like this will go flat to go in an 8x8 card blank. So there we are, that will go on there. And then I have a white one, again using Julie's circles, it's the inner size, to go on top of it, and I'm just going to pop that on. Make it central, make sure you've got a nice border all the way around, and then that's on there. Okay, so now I'll bring in the flowers. We have a butterfly that I've pulled from Hazel's. I don't know if I'll use that this time. I'm not sure. So there's the little daisies. Then I've got my leaves, which I'm going to all leave these black and white. I've just coloured the daisy leaves in, just for a little tiny pop of colour. But I am going to do the centres of the flowers pink to go with the ones that are on the design on the actual card base. Okay. And the butterfly, I'm just going to put a little bit of pink on in the centre. If you were using watercolour, then you could spread it out. I'm just going to put a little tiny flash of pink on it, just so it pops like the flowers do. Or you can colour the whole thing, it's totally up to you. Alright, so now we're going to place these on. I'm going to put some gems in the centre of these, I think. I've only got a couple of pink glossies left, so I'm going to have to use gems. And I'm going to put a pink one on there. This one here. As you can see with this one, I've cut around it to be able to put that on top to make it dimensional. So that's what I've done. I'm going to glue it together first. Offset your petals, and once it's dry, you can manipulate them. You can pull them up and give them a bit of dimension. Quite simply. And then pop a gem in the middle. I've got some bright pink ones in here, so we'll have a big one on there. She says, trying to get them out. There we are. Bright pink one in the middle. So you've just got the pop of pink. There. And then we can start to put it together. So, start off with your leaves, and you can position your leaves top and bottom like this. This big flower is going to go in the middle, and we're going to have the next smaller flower, and then we're going to have this little pop of colour with the daisies coming out there. So you've got a whole, you know, it takes your eye right the way through. So I'll put the big one on first, and then I know where my placements are. So I'm going to pop that on there. There we go. And now I can start to glue these. You might need to trim the edge of the leaves off a little so you can tuck them in. And I've also got some black ones as well, so I think I might put them in first so they've got something to lay against. I quite like a big combination of flowers. You might have noticed that, but I do like a big bunch of flowers on the side, and as long as it's within the range of the card, the 8x8, then you're going to have no problem in being able to put it in the envelope as well. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off here because they're a bit big, but we can use those leaves to tuck in around the edge, so you're not going to waste them. So pop that one in there. And now we can go in with these. And once these are all dry, you can pull them up and make them look a little more dimensional. As you can see. I'll do that to put the finished picture up. So you just got a little bunch of leaves coming out. Well, a big bunch of leaves, because they do make me leaves. And like I said, I cut these out using the die. And if you have a look on the last live that Julie did, she shows you how to line these up to make it so easy with your stamps and dies. So check them out. Check that one out as well, because, you know, I'm going to cut a little bit off the edge of them just so they fit nicely. Pop that one in. I don't glue the whole of mine down. I quite like it if they're free, you know, sort of shaped upwards. I quite like that. Now I know these daisies are upside down, but that's the way life is for the minute. But they still pop out really nice. So we're putting that one there, just to arrange them. And these ones I've got a bit of foam pad on the back, just a wee bit. So that can go in there. And you can see you're building up a nice composition of flowers on the side. You could put them down this side as well if you wished. You don't have to always put them there. And you don't have to put as many on if you don't want to. I mean, I'm okay. This is not getting posted. The lady is going to be handed this one. So, right, there we are. Just in the middle. And then in a moment, I shall fluff them up. Okay. Now, the other thing I cut out, which I quite like, because I put a butterfly on the last two. I might change it, or put the butterfly on as well. We'll see. But this is from Hazel's square medley dies, and it's the little tiny tag, and I absolutely love it. I think it's dead cute. So we're going to pop that, I think, just poking out from under there, so you can see the bow, see the little tag. And now all we need really is my favourite glossy things and your sentiment. I'm gonna, I think, pop that leaf in there just so you can see a bit of black coming out the back there. And seeing as I've got an extra leaf here, this is what I love about Julie's leaves. You can just trim them down, manipulate them, so you've only got a couple, and then you can keep those ones for another card and just poke them in and around your design. I love that. Right, okay, so let's lift these up, give it a bit of dimension. Got enough dimension on those. Lift these up. I did cut into the petals a little so that we can lift them up. There we go. Nice bit of dimension. And now we're looking for the happy birthday. Use the pink that I've used in the centre just to coordinate with the happy birthday. And I've trimmed that out, so I'm going to pop happy there and birthday underneath. Now, this could be happy anniversary. It could be, if you did it in all white, if you did a white on white, it'd be quite a effective wedding card as well, I think. Or Mother's Day card. Happy birthday. There we go. And then all that's left to do is pop on some glossies. my favourite glossies, and large, and 2 small either side, just to decorate that there, so it's not so stark white. So here we go, last one. I'm really running out of these. It upsets me. It upsets me when I haven't got glossies. There we go. So we could also, if we wished, put the butterfly on, but I think that's over egging it. I like the way that looks at the moment. Hi Jenny. Oh, don't worry, you can catch up whenever you want. So there we have it. Aztec pyramid card, ever so easy, I'm sure you'll agree. Done with stamps. I'll put the pictures up in a minute. And one done with Hazel's papers, or what was left of Hazel's papers. So I think also you could use up the, you know, the massive load of papers that you've got, that we've bought for ever and never used. So there we go, that's it. That's how you make it. Not difficult. Didn't take too long. I didn't keep you too long, half an hour. Philippa will be back Tuesday, I think, with a Technique Tuesday. Julie's up tomorrow with another live to show you how to use these beautiful stamps, so you can tune in for those. And I'll see you in a fortnight with another one using Julie's pretty petals. So thanks ever so much for joining me. If there's any questions, I'll go through it now and answer them all for you. But thanks again, and have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.